go through our breathing. So, at all times I'll be talking about posture. So, in every exercise, I'll just say, go through a quick body scan, which will mean thinking long through the spine, so think really nice and tall, shoulders down and back, chin slightly tucked in, core always switched on. Our breathing, I'll talk about zipping up through the pelvic floor, so it is a real lift on that inhale, as if you're stopping yourself going to the toilet, so it's a real lift up, and on the exhale I want you to think about bringing ribs to hips. Shh, in this transverse abdominis here. So inhale, zip up, exhale, try and get that rib to hip connection. Inhale, exhale, squeeze ribs to hips. Okay, we're going to start off with some squats today. So let's set ourselves up in our squat. I want you to think about pushing your bottom out. So it's not here, it's here. I want you to think about pushing through your heels so you're working all the way up the back of your legs and squeezing those glutes. Scooping out the belly, and once again thinking about your posture. Nice and long through the spine, shoulders down and back, chin slightly tucked in. The ball is just going to go out as we bend down and come back up. Or your cushion, or whatever you have. So really think about zipping up through that pelvic floor, ribs to hips. Keeping your shoulders down as you lift the ball out in front. Pushing through those heels so you're using your glutes. As you come up, don't lock the knees, but squeeze the glute. Push that bottom out towards the back of the room. Squeeze ribs to hips. As you come up, shoulders down and back, squeezing between your shoulder blades. Warming up the whole body. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down into your squat, you're going to lift that ball up slightly, lower it down. Lift it up, lower it down. Squeezing ribs to hips. Pushing that belly button towards the spine. Use your breath to remind you. Inhale, zip up. Exhale, ribs to hips. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to stay down here. We're going to lift our heels. So up onto our toes. Up we come. Still down in our squat. Lifting up, squeezing those glutes, pushing your belly button towards your spine. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold it up. We're going to push the ball, squeezing between your hands, scooping at the belly, squeezing that ball or the cushion, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, okay, shake that out. All right, we're going to go in now into our lunge. So set yourself up into your lunge. So 90 degrees with both legs, knees tracking in the middle of the toes, but not knee over the toe. Weight evenly distributed between both legs. Ball up overhead. As we come down, we're going to bring the ball underneath, lift up. Keep breathing. So warming up those arms, warming up those legs. Squeeze that glute, but don't lock the knees. Nice and tall through the spine. Think about your posture. Shoulders down and back. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up, that back leg now, we're going to put the ball into the crease of the knee and lift it up, arms out to the side. Nice and tall. We're going to bring it up in front, squeeze ribs to hips. We're going to lean forward and bring that at the back. So you don't need the ball if this cushion isn't working. Just bring the knee. We're working on our balance here. So lifting up, thinking nice and tall, scoop at that belly as you fold over. Push the belly button towards the spine and look down towards the mat. Lifting back up, nice and tall. Leaning over, scooping at that belly. Soft bend in that standing knee. Lifting up one more time in front and then towards the back. Now we're going to pulse that leg up. So pulse, pulse. You can point your toe here. Pulse, 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 pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Flex the foot and now squeeze that ball in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back down. So that leg was back in the lunge. This time we're going to put the other leg back. Set yourself up. Nice and tall. Right angles with these legs. Weight between both. Knees tracking the middle of the toes. Ball up overhead. And as we come down, we bring the ball underneath. We're squeezing our glutes, we lift up. We're squeezing our quads, so we're working our legs, warming up our arms. Lifting the ball up overhead and down. Feel as though someone's pulling you up from the top of your head, nice and tall. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put that ball into that back knee. Arms out to the side. Ooh. We're going to bring it up to the front. Squeeze ribs to hips. Lean forward and bring it back. Coming up to the front. Nice and tall. Then out to the back. Eye gaze down towards the mat. Don't lock that standing knee. Scoop at that belly. Try to work on our balance. Last time to the front, nice and tall, squeeze ribs to hips, leaning forward, point through that toe, and then pulse it up towards the ceiling. Four, 3, 2, 1. Now squeeze that ball in, squeeze it, flex that foot, squeeze it in, squeeze that glute. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Okay, shake that out. That's a good warm up. Okay, come to the end of your mat. Set up your posture. Shoulders down and back, nice and long, tall through the spine. Inhale, zip up through that pelvic floor. Exhale, ribs to hips. Let's just roll down. People with cushions, obviously this is not going to work. As we roll down, chin to chest, just slowly roll down. Don't lock those knees. Let's just shake our head a few times, yes. A few times, no. And you can roll the ball or just sway your hands around your legs. One way, then the other. Keep scooping out that belly, protect that lower back. Don't lock those knees. And let's slowly roll back up again. Scoop out that belly, slowly roll back up. Let's round our shoulders, circle them one way. And then the other. Inhale, zip up. Exhale, ribs to hips, chin to chest. Let's slowly roll back down. Scoop at that belly. Don't lock those knees. We're going to bring the ball about halfway along the mat. We're going to bring our knees down onto the ball. So for those that haven't got the ball, you're just going to walk your feet into the plank on your toes and then back onto your knees and do your push-ups. It's a chest push-up today, so really think about using those muscles in the chest and your upper arms. Your elbows are going to go 45 degrees as you do your push-up. You're going to roll this ball in, squeeze ribs to hips. You're going to roll this ball back out and then push down, back up, roll the ball in. That's your little sequence. Roll it out, down, and back up. Roll it in, really think ribs to hips. Nice straight back. Roll it back out. Push down, push up. Keep going. For those obviously that don't have the ball, we're just going to step into your full plank. Step back, lower those knees, and just do your in and out push-up. Lifting up into your plank, down on your knees. Push down, push up. Lifting up into your plank and down. We're going to do 3 more. In and out with the ball. Push down. Scoop that belly, protect that lower back. And really squeeze that chest. What's what we're working here. Last time. Down. Back up. Let's come into a nice wide-legged child's pose and circle out those wrists. One way and then the other. Okay, we're going to do our little planks here. So on your knees or your toes, just have the ball just in front here. So make sure when you're on your knees or toes, your back is straight. I don't want the rounding. If you find that you've lost abdominal connection, just come down on your knees. Just make sure your back is straight. You're pushing the belly button towards the spine. So no arching or rounding of the back. Pick whether you're on your toes or your knees. We're going to roll the ball out. So if you don't have the ball, you're just going to bring your hand out and back. So bring the hand overhead there and back. So try and keep your hips square to the mat. You're just transferring weight to one hand to the other. So we're going to roll the ball out, roll the ball in, change over. Change over. Push that belly button up against the spine, Protect that lower back. Roll it out, roll it in, change it over. Try and keep those hips perfectly square to the mat, just transferring weight to one side then the other. Let's go one more each side. And then we're done, so really push that belly button up. Then the other. And knees down. Come back into your child's pose. Circle those wrists one way. And then the other. Okay, coming down onto your tummies now. A little bit of back extension work. So if you don't have the ball, you're just going to lift up into your cobra. We're going to roll the ball out and in. So we're going to do that first. Most important when you're on your tummy, you don't let gravity just release the belly onto the mat. Really scoop that belly out, protect that lower back. So we're working between your shoulder blades, those postural muscles that sit under the scapula. That's what we're working here to keep those shoulders down and back. And we're working our lower back extension muscles and our glutes and legs. So, inhale, zip up that pelvic floor. Exhale, ribs to hips. Let's roll this ball in. Just lift up the upper back, upper body. Roll that ball in. Lifting up, squeezing between your shoulder blades. Lowering back down. Then we're going to lift our legs and we're going to try and get our thighs off the mat. Scoop the belly out, lift those legs off the mat. Eye gaze down towards the mat, lower back down. Let's roll this ball in, lifting up, squeezing between the shoulder blades, lowering back down. Lifting those legs off the mat. Eye gaze down, squeeze those glutes, those hammies, you can feel it all the way up your posterior chain, lower back down, roll that ball back in, lift up. See if you can come a little bit higher. Roll back down, lift those legs, squeeze those glutes, whew. Lower back down. Lift back up, squeeze between the shoulder blades, lower back down, lift those legs, lower back down. This time we're going to lift the upper body up. We're going to transfer that ball behind your back, squeeze between the shoulder blades and back around to the front. Go the other way. As you bring the ball back behind you, try and lift up a little bit higher and squeeze between those shoulder blades. So just transferring behind your back. You don't need anything in this instance if you don't have the ball. Just lifting up, bringing those hands together behind your back. For 3, scoop that belly away from the mat, always activated. Last time, lower back down. This time we're going to bring our legs off the mat and we're going to flex the feet, beat those heels together. Scoop the belly, lift those legs, flex and beat those heels together. Eye gaze down at the mat. Scoop out that belly, squeeze those glutes for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down. Okay, let's push ourselves up, reverse that spine now, back into your child's pose. Whew. You can wriggle your hips from side to side. Okay, while we're here, We're going to do a little frog's pose. Great little hip opener. So we're going to bring our knees a bit further apart. For some it might be just here. Stretching out between the knees. Otherwise you can bring your knees out as far as you can. And if you can, leaning forward. And we're just going to stay here for about 30 seconds. Still those abdominals are activated. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those knees together and let's hop on to our backs. Grab your ball. We're going to put the ball or the cushion just underneath your thoracic spine here, so not your lumbar spine. It's between your shoulder blades here. So just coming back there. Put your feet together, so bend your knees, feet together. Hands behind your head, and let's bring that head back and really stretch out that thoracic spine there. It should feel quite nice. Now we're going to actually leave our head here, down on the floor. If the cushion isn't working, just leave without. You just have your head down on the mat. We're going to bring the right knee in just ever so slowly without this left knee coming down towards the mat. So it's almost as if you've got to do an anti-rotation with your abdominals here to stop this as you bring up the other leg. So it's a really small movement, but it looks a lot harder than it is. So I really want you to feel the abdominal connection between lifting up the leg and lowering it, and then the other leg. So you're really working your obliques here. So you're going to inhale, zip up, exhale, lift up one leg towards the middle without losing your soles of the feet together, and lower back down. So really control it up, control it back down. So your upper body nice and relaxed, so all your mind is totally thinking about abdominals here. As you lift it up, think ribs to hips, inhale down. Exhale, ribs to hips. Inhale down. Exhale. Make that breath noisy if it reminds you to think ribs to hips on the exhale. Inhale, zip up. Exhale. So you're more or less controlling both legs as you bring up one leg towards the center and back down. One more on each side. Really contract. Feel that waist working as you lift and lower that leg for the last time. Okay, this time we're going to bring both feet off the mat. We're going to bring our head up. So inhale, zip up. Exhale, lift that upper body. And we're going to exhale, bring those legs up. The feet off the mat, lower back down. So control it up. Control it back down. Control it up. Don't just let it fall back down on the mat. Exhale. As it comes up, inhale, zip up. Exhale, ribs to hips. Lower back down. Lift up. lower back down. Nice and controlled. Squeezing your glutes as well. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those legs. Lower your head back. Oof. Okay. Bring those knees together. You're going to lengthen the right leg along the mat. So that left leg is bent. Inhale, zip up. Exhale, lift up. Now, if the cushion isn't working for you, just leave your head on the mat and just work your legs. So we're going to lift that right leg up just a couple of inches off the mat. Squeeze ribs to hips. And we're just going to turn the knee out slightly, so working a little bit of inner thigh here as we do a few little circles. Nice, slow and controlled, so you're feeling that abdominal connection as you're moving that leg in a little circle. Just one way. Then we're going to lift it up a little bit higher and circle that leg. Ribs to hips, really think about pushing that belly button in towards the spine. Let's lift that leg up a little bit higher. Nice, slow and controlled. Once again, keeping this left knee straight up towards the ceiling. So you've got to control the whole lower body. Lifting back up a little bit higher. Last time, a little higher. Try and put that knee out towards the outside. Let's go back the other way as we're up here. Nice and controlled. Feel that abdominal connection. Lower back down slightly. Ribs to hips so you're not arching your back. Lower back down. And it's the last one. Little circles, nice and controlled. With the same leg now, I just want you to bring it up and lower it down. Push it up, pull it back down. Nice and controlled. Exhale to lift, inhale down. Squeeze ribs to hips. 3, 2, and 1. Bend that knee and lower your head down. Nice deep breaths. Let's lengthen the left leg along the mat. Think about turning that knee out. Lift your head. Inhale, zip up. Exhale, lift that leg a few inches off the mat. And let's do a couple little circles. Just one way. Nice and controlled. Really feeling that abdominal connection as you move that leg. Lift a little higher. Little circles. Try and keep this other knee perfectly still. So you've got to use your abdominals to control this lower body. A little bit higher. Last one, a little bit higher. You can even put your hands on your belly to make sure it's working. Let's go the other way. Keep breathing, using that breath. Make it noisy if that's what it takes. Lower back down, no one can hear you. Lower back down. And lower back down to the last one. Really think ribs to hips so you're not arching that back. 2 and 1. Bring that knee in. And we've got just the leg up and down. So just keep that knee rotated out towards the side, and let's just lift up and down. So try and keep that torso perfectly still. Use your abdominals. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend that knee and lower that head down. Stretch over that ball. Okay, strong onto your side. This time we're going to put the ball just underneath our sacrum, so not the lumbar spine, just the bottom base of our spine here, and lower back down. So you can definitely put the cushion down there. Hands beside your body. We're going to lift the knees up into tabletop. The great thing about the ball is those little micro movements make you use your abdominals even more to keep your balance on this ball. So inhale, zip up, exhale. We're just going to bring the leg down just as far as you can without moving that pelvis. So it may not touch the ground here. Squeeze ribs to hips. Really feel that abdominal connection with the breath and lowering and lifting of that leg. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten those legs out. Let's bring one leg down and then the other. So only come down as far as you can without that back arching. That's why you really need to keep that rib to hip connection to stop that back from arching. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's do some little flutter kicks. So it's just one leg goes around the other. And just bring that down just as far as you can without any discomfort in the lower back or arching of that back. And then lift back up. Keep breathing. Ribs to hips, push that belly button into the ball. Lower back down, back up, and then last time we're just going to do some little scissor kicks, up and down. You really feel those abdominals working as you lower those legs. Up and down. One more time. Bring those knees into the chest. Put the feet on the ground. Take that ball out. Splay those knees out to the side. Nice big circles. And back the other way. Feet as wide as a mat. And let's just windscreen wiper those legs from side to side. Before we get on to our glutes, let's just do a little fun one. I'm not sure if it'll work with the cushion, but you never know. We're going to put the ball on our shins here. Hands behind the head there, and then we're going to kick the ball up, and then lengthen our legs. So let's see where these balls go, and then flutter the legs. 3, 4. Bring it back. So try and bring that head up. Don't let that head strain back here. Bring the head up so the weight is over the chest. Kick that ball up. Flutter. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees in. Ball or cushion on the shins. Lift up. 4, 3. Lower it down as far as you can without arching the back. Back in. Hands behind the head. Kick up. Flutter. Push that belly button towards the spine. Don't arch that back. Back in. Onto the shin. Lift back up. Anyone lost their balls yet? Coming back in. Put it on your shin. Hands behind the head. Lift it up. Catch. Flutter. Bring it down. Flat back. Pushing that spine into the mat. Bring it back up. Hands behind the head. 2 more. Lift up. Flutter down. Bend the knees. Hands behind the head. See if you can kick that ball higher. Lift up and flutter down. And back up. Bend those knees. Nice big circles. Rock from side to side. Whatever feels good. Okay. Bring those feet down. Get them nice and close to your bottom. We're going to just come up into a nice bridge. Reverse that spine. So inhale, zip up through that pelvic floor. Exhale, ribs to hips. Tilt that pelvis. And let's slowly roll up. 1 vertebra. Should feel really nice along the spine as we lift up. Lift up those hips. So you should have one nice long line between your shoulders, hips, and your knees. Knees straight ahead. Don't strain those knees. Squeeze those glutes. Let's put our arms behind us. And let's slowly roll back down. 1 vertebra at a time. Let's roll back up. Lifting up, squeezing the glutes, pushing through your heels. Try and relax these hip flexors in your bridges. It's more the posterior chain. So squeeze your glutes and your hammies all the way along here. Lower back, squeeze those back extension muscles here and try and relax these hip flexors. Slowly roll back down. Bring those arms back down beside you. Okay, we're going to put the ball underneath our right foot. So for those with the cushion, all I want you to do when you come up into your bridge is lower back down and lift back up while we roll the ball out. So inhale, zip up, exhale, ribs to hips, tilt that pelvis. Let's slowly push through that standing heel. Keep those hips perfectly still. And let's roll that ball out. And don't let that hip drop as we roll the ball out. Keep this hip square to the ceiling. Squeeze the glute, push through that heel. So we're looking at more underneath the back of the legs here, not the front. Squeeze ribs to hips. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back in. We're all going to bounce either on the cushion or the ball with the hips nice and high. Pushing the top of the foot into the ball for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down. Let's bring that ball over to the other foot. Inhale, zip up, exhale, ribs to hips, push through that standing heel, slowly peel your spine off the mat, lifting up nice and high, keeping those hips perfectly still as we roll the ball out and in. Or you go up and down if you're on the cushion. So one foot still elevated as you lift up and down in your bridge if you're on the cushion. When you think ribs to hips, feel that abdominal connection as you bring that leg out and back, or you bring those hips up and down. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back in. We're all going to bounce on that cushion or ball, up and down. Squeeze your glute. Push through the heel. Try and relax the front of these legs. For 3, 2, and 1. And let's roll back down. Okay, we're going to do a set of hundreds with our feet on the ball. So the people with cushions can either have their feet on the cushion and lift up, or into your tabletop, or you can leave your legs out here for your 100. But people with the ball, we're going to go out for 5 and in for 5 with the ball. Think about pushing that belly button towards the spine. Think about lifting your head up nice and high, not back here so you're straining that neck. Lift up that head. So inhale, zip up through that pelvic floor. Exhale, lift up nice and high into your position. Really think about when you're beating your hands, really squeeze those triceps, work those triceps as well. So inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really beat those hands. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Can you lift yourself up a little bit higher? We're halfway. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push that belly button in towards the spine. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knees into the chest. Rock and roll. Round and around. Feet down as wide as a mat. And let's just windscreen wiper those legs from side to side. Okay, pop that ball overhead. I'm going to do a couple of roll-ups here. So inhale, zip up, exhale. Let's bring ourselves up. Use those abdominals to lift ourselves up. Let's stretch over our feet. Still scooping out the belly. Lift up nice and tall. Think about your posture, shoulders down and back. And now C-curve with the spine. Scoop the belly and slowly roll back down. Using those abdominals to lower the body. And stretch your ball or cushion overhead. Inhale, zip up, ball towards the ceiling. Exhale, ribs to hips. Slowly roll back up. Okay, we're going to come back about halfway. Think nice and tall here. Inhale, zip up. Exhale, just C-curve that body. Coming back to where you feel comfortable. Push the belly button in towards your spine. We're going to open up with the ball to one side. Really use your side obliques here. And the other way. You only have side obliques. So use your obliques or use the sides of your abdominals here. and open up. Really squeeze, really wring out that waist. One of the girls this morning said she can see a six-pack happening. That's exciting. Last one each side. And roll back up. Let's stretch over those legs. Scooping out that belly. Now I want you to bend your knees. Put the ball or cushion between your knees. Nice and tall posture. Scooping out the belly, arms out in front. We're going to come back. Just as far as you can, that you're not feeling any discomfort. In fact, even upright is going to work here because you're going to squeeze the ball. So if you're feeling any discomfort, it's been a while since you've done Pilates. Otherwise, coming back and we're going to squeeze that ball. Every time you squeeze the ball, feel that abdominal connection. You really can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. We're going to go for 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll back up. We're going to do one more set of those. Okay, inhale, zip up, exhale, come back, rigid. And let's squeeze between our inner thighs, working here as well as our abdominals. And even if you're upright, you should be still feeling that abdominal connection with the ball, whether you're upright or down. Use that breath for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back up. Take that ball away, stretch over those legs. Let's just bend the right leg now, hands behind the head. Nice little couple of spinal twists here. Nice and controlled. So we're just going to go to one side, twisting at the waist there, then the other. Think nice and tall through the spine. So nice straight back. Keep those elbows wide. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg down. Let's bring the other leg up and let's start twisting. Twisting. Using that breath, ribs to hips. For 3, 2, and 1. Okay, great. Let's open up our knees here, bring our feet, soles of our feet together. Grab your feet and let's try and bring our chest down towards your feet. Still keep those abdominals activated. So push that belly button into the spine. Keep breathing. Nice deep breaths. Coming back up. Let's bring our right foot around our left knee. Now, if this is too much on some people's knee, you can just stretch out that bottom leg and then twist towards the right side. Otherwise, that other leg can come underneath as well. So whatever feels comfortable. Of course, you know, There's a good hurt and there's a bad hurt. We don't want any bad hurt. So if that's too much on the knees, just straighten out that bottom leg. Still thinking posture, nice and tall, shoulders down and back. Nice deep breath, still scooping in that belly. And let's switch that around. So now it's our left knee that comes around our right knee, or you can stretch out that right leg. And then twist back towards the left side. We're just going to come back on the mat. We're going to just do a couple of reverse planks. This should really stretch out across your shoulders, your abdominals. So just bend those feet, bend those knees, feet on the mat, fingertips sort of towards your bottom, and you're just going to lift up those hips nice and high, your eye gaze towards the ceiling, lower back down. Then lift back up. You can really feel that and your shoulders stretching across those shoulders there and down to the front of the deltoids there and the chest, and also stretching out those abdominals. Squeeze those glutes as you lift up, and still think ribs to hips. And last one. Coming back down, we're just going to bend our knees forward and then roll onto our knees. Right leg up. And just tuck that bottom under and really push up against your hip flexors here. Nice and tall, shoulders down and back. Throughout the course of the day, keep thinking about me, telling you to bring your shoulders down and back, nice and tall through the spine. Chin slightly tucked in. Arms out in front now. I want you to bring the left hand, circle that back, and then circle the right arm back and bring it back, if you can, towards your foot here. Lifting up the right hand, looking up towards the ceiling. Coming back, put your right hand down towards the body. See if you can touch the ground and lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Coming back down, putting the left hand beside the right foot, and then bring the right hand, follow that gaze up towards the ceiling. Bringing both hands down beside that front foot. Lift up the back leg, and let's bend and lengthen that front leg. Nice and slow. Keep scooping out that belly. Now coming forward, bringing both arms inside that front leg. So the idea is to try and get your elbows on the ground. Still scooping out that belly. Coming back up. Let's swap over. So now we've got the left foot in the front. Tucking the bottom under, pushing up against the hip flexor here. Nice deep breaths. Posture. Nice and long through the spine. Arms out in front. We're going to bring the left arm, circle that back, nice and controlled. Then the right arm circles back. Lift the left arm up with the right hand on the back of your leg here. Really push into that hip flexor. Coming back up, put the left hand down beside the body. Bring the right hand up for that nice side stretch. And then bring the right hand down beside the left foot and bring the left hand up towards the ceiling. Follow your gaze. Bring both hands beside that front foot. Lift up the back leg and bend and stretch that front leg. Bring both hands, so bend that front leg, bring both arms inside that front leg. Bring that front leg back to meet the leg at the back, come into down dog. Try and press the heels of your feet into the mat and then press into the heels of the hand and push your bottom up. And then come back, bring your chest back through your arms and lift your head up. And back into your down dog, pressing that bottom up towards the ceiling. Stretching your top of your shoulders as you push your head back through your hands or arms. Then back, bring your chest back through your arms and lift your head up. Okay, walk your feet into your hands, keep your head down. Don't lock those knees and let's just nod your head a few times. A few yeses, a few no's. Swish your hands around those legs. Inhale, zip up. Exhale, ribs to hips. Let's slowly roll back up. Clasp your fingers, push them out in front. Pulling across the top of that back. And then grab your hands behind your back. Don't lock those knees. Bend forward and bring those hands down towards the mat. Scoop out that belly, protect that lower back. And slowly roll back up. Nice deep breaths now to finish. Lifting up and down and up. And a few swishes.